Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is the Gamertron. Welcome back to the Gamertron Show, my fellow heisters. I hope you brought with you your fanciest, coolest looking mask. I hope you brought the right amount of body armor for the job. And I'll be damned if at least one of you didn't bring a medic or ammo bag. Oh yeah, guns help too. Lots of guns help. Especially when you're trying to pull off the perfect heist in Payday 2. Payday 2. Payday 2 was one of my favorite and one of the best games of 2013. It was actually number 10 on my top 10 games of 2013. You should go watch that video, here's a link. But enough shameless self-promotion. After all, if you play Payday 2, you know that self-promotion? That's not the best way to make money. The best way to make money, well, is to get your payday on. Payday 2 is almost 2 years old, and there are still hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands, still playing Payday. The first Payday game was good, and there were quite a few people online, but not to the extent of people that are still playing Payday 2. We're still getting a ton of fresh, brand new heisters who just bought the game because of how good they hear it is. And the Payday 2 veterans, who are like level 100 and infamy level 5, who play the game non-stop and continue to play Payday. The fact that Payday has such a dedicated fan base, and the fact that Payday 2 is literally always being played, that it is still incredibly popular, that the developers are still, to this day, almost 2 years after releasing their game, are still updating it and are still making DLC for the game. That's how popular this game is, that 2 years later, they're still giving away free updates and making more DLC. And the original Payday, the vanilla Payday, is very different to the Payday of today. They're almost two different games. But what keeps people keep playing Payday? What makes newcomers want to try and experience the cops and robbers criminal fantasy? And what makes the veterans keep coming back for just one more Payday? Well, it's actually surprisingly simple. Payday 2 gets something right that so many games either almost get right or just miss the mark. And that's grinding and loot. And this is how Payday 2 does grinding and loot right. You see, in Payday 2, there's a lot to unlock and there's a lot to buy. And you only really unlock stuff by buying it, with cash, money, dollar bills, etc. And seeing as how you're a career criminal, you know the best way to obtain it. Breaking into a variety of banks, stealing from drug cartels, or performing some pretty hefty favors for some very shady individuals. And performing these monumental tasks of crimedom earns you all the money you could ask for. But there's so much to buy. Weapons, masks, customization for those weapons and masks, slots to get more weapons and masks, and let's not forget Payday's RPG side of things. I mean, Payday is somewhat of an RPG with those count 'em, 5 different skill trees, with literally dozens upon dozens of skills that you need skill points, and you only attain skill points by leveling up your character, and you only level up your character by completing heists to actually upgrade and get new skills, which cost skill points and money. So if you want to progress through Payday 2, if you want to get new stuff, better stuff to customize your character with, you have to play the game. There's no workaround, there's no pay to win. You want new toys, you want new skills, well, you have to earn them. And you don't just earn them from shooting coppers. In the first Payday, you could get a ton of XP just farming hordes of cops. In Payday 2, it doesn't matter if you kick the police's ass or they kick your ass. The only way you're getting any XP is if you work together as a team, as a group of criminals and heisters, to get the dirty job done. Perform whatever tasks are required of you, get whatever loot you can, whether it be gold, cash, jewelry, drugs, whatever it may be. Fighting off and shooting the enemies is not the end goal. Your end goal is to survive and get the job done as professionally as possible. I mean, why else would our good heisters wear those fine-looking suits? If your job line involves the tags of cop killer and steals all the monies, you definitely want to look fancy for the occasion. But now, in all seriousness, this system that Payday 2 has keeps you coming back for more because there's so much to unlock. from weapons to masks, and of course leveling up your character, trying to get to that infamous level 100. Then of course there's all the guns and the masks and finding the right one that suits you, a mask that looks cool and suits your personality, and that one weapon that has the right amount of damage and the right amount of ammo just for you. Another aspect that keeps players playing is the RNG Loot aspect of it all, where you have to keep playing the game over and over again, you have to keep performing heists, and you have to hope you get lucky to obtain a new weapon attachment or mask or color for a mask or bonus XP and money after every heist. While admittedly this can be a bit frustrating, we all have to admit, it's what keeps us playing, the RNG Loot aspect of it all. Sure, we're gaining money and we're gaining XP, but in the end, we're hoping when those cards flip, when those random free cards flip, we hope we pick the right one that gives us something that we want. And just the chance, knowing that there's a chance of you getting an awesome weapon attachment or an awesome mask or color or customization piece, just the chance will keep you coming back because you're maybe you'll get lucky. Sure, it can be a bit frustrating and it can turn people off, but it's one of the main reasons that people keep coming back, just for the chance to get lucky with those free cards. But yeah, Payday 2 just does grinding and loot right. When it comes to the grinding, there's such a great variety of heists and a huge amount of variety in the heists, there's no limit to the ways in how to approach a heist, whether it be stealthy, guns blazing, or a combination of the two. If you're playing multiplayer, do you have one guy wait outside and shoot at the cops to distract them? Do you have one guy monitor the hostages at all times? Do you have one guy drilling into the vault, constantly keeping tabs on the drill? And you have that one guy who's setting traps throughout the building for when the coppers eventually do come in. Moments like this, situations like this, are what keep the heists fresh. It's that human element when it comes to multiplayer, and even single player playing alone with bots. As I've said before, and I will say again, Payday 2 is one of the most intense shooters I've ever played. The game oozes intensity in its shootouts. It's the visuals, it's the sounds, it's the feel for the guns. Payday 2 has just such intense shootouts. Some may return to Payday 2 just for the adrenaline boost of those shootouts. And that's how Payday gets grinding right. As for how it gets loot right, well, I've already explained to you how it gets loot right. There is just so much loot. Skills to level up, and of course buy, new masks to buy and customize, which also require buying the stuff to customize it with. And then the guns, oh, so many guns. And then buying the weapon slots to get even more guns. And then buying the attachments to put on those guns to make those guns even more effective. The only thing ever blocked off, ever denied to the players, is the DLC content. And the DLC content was made after the game was released, so there's really no problem with it. It's just extra stuff if you want to pay for it with real money. And even if you do get the DLC is also, well, rewarding, because the DLC is usually worth it. It's either brand new heists, and new heists means endless variation in those heists, something fresh and new and maybe a different percentage in reward, or maybe some new guns and masks, and who doesn't want more guns and masks? Payday 2 is kind of the game that I would expect people would want from Destiny. People complain about the grinding and the loot system in Destiny. Well, if Destiny isn't your thing and you still want an RPG first-person shooter that does grinding and loot right, well, Payday 2 does grinding and loot right. Payday 2 is a great video game that should definitely be checked out by fans of first-person shooters, crime games, RPGs with grinding and loot, and of course, multiplayer. Payday 2 is a steal. Eh? You see what I did there? Anyways, this has been the Gamertron, this has been the Gamertron Show. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, if you enjoyed the video, agree with the video in any way, shape, or form, please hit the like button. Hitting the like button helps me immensely. It helps you, helps me, helps everybody involved with the video if you hit that like button. Please leave a comment. I love reading comments. I don't get enough comments. What do you guys think of Payday 2? What do you think of this video? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading comments. Please leave a comment. And finally, if you're new to the channel and just stumbled across this video, I love video games. I love talking about video games. I may be the guy for you. Please consider subscribing if, well, you love video games too and you want to hear from a guy with a different opinion and perspective on video games. This has been the Gamertron, this has been a video, and I will see you guys later.